So this class works a little bit different from the junior class. So I was talking to the juniors just before, and it focuses a lot on not theoretical public speaking, but instead just getting the basic necessary confidence and improving their vocabulary so that they can actually speak in front of a group. And that's looking at grades 2 to 4, so a little bit younger. And then this class looks at really grades 5 and above before you head off to high school. So between grade 5 and grade 8. All right, guys, so I'm going to start us off. So my name is Olivia. All I ask, because we do a little bit more speaking in this class than in my other classes, that you refer to me as Miss Olivia. It keeps things nice and professional. It keeps a professional responsibility. I don't need a last name by any means, but I do appreciate a prefix in front of that. So like I said, my name is Olivia. I am currently studying law, and I've been where you guys are. I've been really, and maybe you're not, but I've been nervous about public speaking before. I've had a little bit of difficulty, but what it is it's very much a skill that can be acquired. It's not something that you are born with. Maybe some people have a little bit more of an advantage because they're an extrovert or something like that, but it really is a skill that you can attain so that you can feel a little bit more confident in what you're doing. And we go through that. We do go through how public speaking is very much intertwined with character traits, and it has to do with building confidence in yourself and charisma and being a collaborative team player, but being a leader amongst others in other situations. So there's a lot that goes into it, and we do try and focus on that throughout the course. So for myself, what I usually do in my basis in public speaking is actually in politics. So I'm an avid Canadian politics buff. I absolutely love it. And I've been fortunate enough to work in Ottawa, to work on Parliament Hill, to work with members of Parliament and to help them write their speeches and create their speeches. You'll see people rise in the House of Commons, having what they're saying I've helped write, which is a really neat thing. And then also just on a basic being a leader in the community, I'm on a lot of different boards and things like that. And my probably favorite thing that I've ever done with public speaking is candidates who are running for public office. I actually taught classes with them on how they can better present themselves when it comes to being a political candidate. So that's really where I'm rooted. So my name is Miss Olivia, like I said, and I already went over my qualifications and things like that. But if you have any more questions about the course, my email's right there. So you can just shoot me an email. Classes are offered via Zoom right now because we are in the pandemic. So we do have to be very, very careful about that. And obviously, once you sign up for a class, you'll be given the correct meeting ID and password. There's no class textbook necessary. That's not money you need to spend. All the materials I will either send to you or I'll add to a Google Doc folder, and you'll have access to that folder. I may ask you to bring a novelty item to class for presentation. What I mean by this, for example, is last semester, students brought different spices from their different cultures, and we talked about the spice trade and what that would have looked like. We did a presentation on it. Like I said, there's going to be a few required materials. So you're going to need an email to navigate Google Docs or some form of email that I can share. It doesn't have to be a Gmail. It can be a Hotmail, things like that. A working camera for class presentations. I do ask that you have a camera on when you're giving a presentation, but you don't have to have the camera on at all times. Just when you're doing your presentations or if we're doing an activity that involves body language, something like that. Working audio via microphone or speaker. Internet connection as well. You're all here, so you have that. And then just basic supplies for independent work, looking at pencils, notebooks, erasers, and etc. Next, the prerequisite is all that I ask is that you have a grade level appropriate understanding of the English language. So this is not an English class. I'm not teaching mechanics or grammar or anything like that. Instead, we're focusing on a medium of the language, which is speaking. Okay, so I do ask that you have a grade appropriate. Now, if that means that Eric's vocabulary is she's vocabulary is in grade 5 because you're in grade 5. That's fine. There's that's not an issue. Your friends in higher grades might have a different vocabulary as long as you're in a grade appropriate level. So if you're doing okay, then you're welcome to be here, or I might put you in a different class. Okay? So this course mirrors what you're already learning in school. And what I mean by that is it's going to offer you support for your learning already. And then once you've established your learning, we can do extra. But I just want to make sure that we're very much in line with what you're supposed to be learning. Okay? So you'll notice that when you look at your course schedule and timelines, it's almost pulled directly out of your curriculum that you're learning from the Ontario Ministry of Education. And that's very much purposeful. So we do quite a bit on listening to understand, talking about active listening or comprehension strategy, speaking to others as well. So that's looking at the creation of speeches, speech writing, motivational speeches, informative speeches. And you'll be required to write a few speeches. They don't have to be too long. Your final assessment is a bit longer, but we'll do time in class where you're given the opportunity to write your speeches, and we'll go over how to do them. Behavioral expectations look like professional responsibility, integrity, and accountability. It looks like a self-improvement and the pursuit of excellence, but also respectful and professional relationships and communications. So for example, I don't know if you've ever been asked, what would you like to be called? Do you have a nickname that you like to be called? What are your preferred pronouns? All things like that is very much important in this virtual classroom, but in the classroom when we get back to Summit Life, if we ever do. I know we will, but in time. So the next thing that we'll look at here is our assessment and evaluation. Participation is worth the most because I really, really want you talking and I want you engaging as much as you can. So you get 2 points per class, you get 1 for attending, and you get 1 for actively participating. So what actively participating looks like is you're fulfilling behavioral expectations, you're putting up your hand, you're being respectful to your friends, you're offering feedback, and really you're just trying your best. Your best is good enough. That's all I'm ever asking for. You don't have to be better than anyone. All I ask is that you're better than you were the day before. That's all. And on top of that, listening to understand, speaking to others, those are those different speeches that we'll talk about. Theater and drama is really fun. I kind of present you guys with a script and you all take on roles and there's a little bit of acting. And then our final evaluation, which we can all discuss together. I wanted to give everyone an idea of what the final evaluation might look like. So if we go to senior public speaking, this is from my most recent class. I'll use Charlotte's because hers was great. I don't know if anyone has seen those Pure Michigan commercials. They might be a little bit before your time, but I sent the link so everyone had an idea. And it was called the tourism assignment. And essentially what you do, and this is Charlotte's script, is you create a script and then you also create a slideshow. Just let it load, sorry guys. And then we use a function where you can add your audio. So if I click this, then Charlotte does her descriptor of this scene and we go through. Okay, so that was our final assignment. So it's really, I talk to you guys about it. I say, what are you looking for? What are you wanting to do? If you want your final assignment to be a 10-minute speech, that's okay as well, but it doesn't have to be. It can be a little bit more fun and a little bit more creative. And then just a mention on course modifications. We reserve the right to change anything during the term. We may change dates and deadlines in extreme circumstances. And it's your responsibility, especially as the senior class, to make sure to check your email and your course folders during the term to note any changes. Usually I'll send out an email if there's any big changes, but just so that you're aware. Another neat one that we did, I'll give you guys a bit of an idea, is those are all her voice recordings. I want to give you an idea of what, here's a rubric. So this is what a rubric might look like. So it looks at verbal skills, it looks at content, and it looks at nonverbal skills. Very similar, you're awarded a 4, 3, 2, or 1. I think it's very similar to what you would look at school. Another rubric here. I'm not sure where they are. Here's a good one. The news article presentation. So, pardon me, we had one class where everyone was given news articles and they had to take a look at them and present them as if they were a news anchor. So lots of fun and creative activities, because I want this to be a place that you enjoy. I know that sometimes extra learning opportunities might kind of hurt it in Eric Yang's voice. I'm here because I'm told to be here. I want you to be here because you want to be here, okay? So that we can learn and we can have fun together, and that you're really excited about learning too. So what I want you guys to do right now, we only have about 3 minutes left, but I'm going to present you with a discussion prompt, and discussion prompts are good. So I'm going to ask you a few questions. I'm going to give you like 20 seconds to think of something, and then you're going to just talk about it with me and with each other. So your questions: what are your hobbies? Why do you like your hobbies so much? Do you often do these hobbies? How long have you been doing these hobbies? When did you start? How did you get started? What hobbies did you used to have, but now you do not? And why is it important to have hobbies? Why or why not? So go ahead and pop those questions in the chat. You can use them as kind of a guide. Who wants to volunteer to go first? Only have to talk for like 20 seconds, that's all. We don't have a lot of time anyway. We'll see how many you can get through in the 20 seconds. Okay, I'm gonna set the timer. Eric, you're gonna go first.
Okay, so I say my hobbies.
Yep, so you can answer. You're going to see how many of the questions I put in the chat that you can answer in 20 seconds. Okay?
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go.
My hobbies are playing badminton and multiple sport. I like my hobbies because it's active and it makes my health better. And
all right, you're all good. We're going to move on to Joanna. You got through 2, Eric. Joanna, let's see how many you can get through. You ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go.
I like painting because it's really calm and peaceful. I rarely paint anymore, but I still do sometimes. I've been painting since quarantine started. And
all right. So you got, how many was that? 3? 3, good job. Okay, Eric Yang, are you ready?
Okay, yeah.
All right, go ahead.
I like to play video games. I like to play video games since it's really fun. I play video games almost every day. I've started since I was young because I don't know. I used to.
Oh, you're done. All right, good. That was 4, I think. All right, does anyone have any questions? I really, really hope to see you guys. I hope that you join this class. We have a great group already, so you'll be joining a class with some other kids. And yeah, I'd love to see you again, and I'd love to, I'll see you. I'd love to hear your voices again, and then maybe see you when we start up classes. If not, good luck. I beg you, please wash your hands and wear your masks and be safe while you can. And yeah, so I hope to see you soon. I'll stay on for a little bit, but if not, you're good to go. Thank you so much, guys.